What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got a huge update coming on Trump's prosecution. We've got the Supreme Court ruling against Jack Smith, striking him down, saying that he's trying to, blanket the law or stretch the law a little bit too far for their likings. And I feel like we've been seeing this a lot, where you're stretching it. You're definitely reaching. We've been seeing them grabbing at straws. A lot of these district attorneys like Fannie Willis down in Fulton County, Georgia. We've been seeing her try to grab at straws and violate Trump's First Amendment freedom of speech rights, constitutional rights. We've been seeing Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, rogue Attorney General. She's been literally holding protests in order to, get others on board with somehow getting this guy Trump thrown in jail. Take Trump down is literally the slogan or what they chant at her protest. I'm definitely excited to check out what's going on with the Supreme Court ruling against Jack Smith. So we're going to hop straight into it, guys, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end of the video. So definitely stick around, guys, until the end so you guys can get my thoughts on the back end. But let's jump straight into it, guys. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. Also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
This is your brain on exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. We're going to go over some news. I'm going to give you a reason why the Supreme Court is almost certainly going to dismiss Trump's J6 case. These are two different articles weighing on two different sides of it. The one article in Newsweek is so wrong. I'll get to that one first, just so you can laugh along with me. This is a guy, Kirshner, a staunch Trump critic, who is also legal analyst for MSNBC, which is like being a unicorn analyst for the NFL. He weighed in Friday if the highest court will step in and try to delay the January 6th case. So this is his opinion. And you tell me if this sounds reasonable, if this sounds like likely to happen. Quote, the J6 case is coming. The Supreme Court could try to temporarily pause that case. I don't think it will, Kirshner said on the Stephanie Miller show on Friday. Quote, I've said all along that the Supreme Court justices so covet their power and their status that I don't think they're going to facilitate Donald Trump, an aspiring dictator, to get back into power because he would not only terminate the Constitution, he would marginalize the Supreme Court, unquote. Do you think that's what motivates the Supreme Court? This guy is an imbecile. No wonder why he's a legal analyst for MSNBC. No, first of all, 3 of the justices were appointed by Trump. Why wouldn't they want him back in power? So that's a silly reason why he would not weigh in. Quote, so I do think the J6 case will begin March 4th. I do think the jury will be voting guilty. I kind of agree with that. This is the J6 jury in Washington, D.C. Will be convicting Trump probably late April, early May. He will be sentenced 60 to 90 days after the jury finds him guilty, and he'll be ordered into prison, I believe, he told Miller. Other than this guy seems to be wrong about everything, I tend to agree with him that the Democrat courts are so corrupt in Washington, D.C. that they probably will throw him in jail if it's not dismissed by the Supreme Court. And now here's the article I tend to agree with, the politics brief. The Supreme Court is poised to intervene in the J6 cases. Here's why. Okay, the Supreme Court of the United States could indirectly get involved in the January 6th charges against former President Donald Trump if it decides to hear the case of the 3 protesters charged with obstructing an official proceeding, which is the same charge Trump is facing. I already did a video on this earlier this week, but this gives further reason why it's likely going to happen. The charge against Fisher, Lang, and Miller is an overextension of 18 USC 1512, according to the defense attorneys, which says it is illegal to, quote, corruptly block, influence, or slow any official action. Okay, fine. That sounds reasonable. Like, hey, Trump, Maybe Trump tried to do that, but I want you to go back to how it was originally used. This came about in the Enron case in 2002. The defendants want the charges against them to be dropped, saying that the law was passed in 2002 as a result of the Enron incident and is known as Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Its purpose is to protect people from destroying evidence and not to protest or even fight. So it was originally made to keep people from destroying documents in the 2002 Enron hearings. It stretches it so far that they'll actually articulate it by the end of this article. Follow it with me because it's good. This is important. In their statement, Trump's lawyers said that the law was, quote, enacted as part of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 in response to the Enron scandal to close a loophole in the federal criminal law on evidence tampering, unquote. As part of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, Congress passed 1512. This was done because of, quote, the exposure of Enron's massive accounting fraud and revelations that the company's outside auditor, Arthur Andersen LLP, had systematically destroyed potentially incriminating documents, or he asked someone else to destroy those documents. That is considered an obstruction of an official government proceeding if you destroy evidence. Quote, thus the indictment takes a statute directed at the destruction of records and accounting fraud and applies it to disputing the outcome of a presidential election. This stretches the statutory language beyond any plausible mooring to the text, which violates the canons of avoidance, lenity, and restraint discussed above, unquote. That's all they're going to say is, look, you've stretched this one too far. You can't apply it to these 3 J6 protesters, and therefore you can't also apply it to Trump. And then he gets off on this one. That's why I believe this case is dead. It still has to play out. I'll keep you guys posted, but that's going to be heard very soon by our Supreme Court.
Yo, there we have it, guys. It sounds like the Supreme Court is going to go ahead and strike this one down. They are trying to, stretch this law a little bit too far. This Enron Act passed in 2002 does not compare at all to, the J6 case. I feel like the two are, totally different situations. They are trying to stretch this law a little bit too far to say they were trying to destroy any evidence or official documents. I didn't see any of that happening during J6. So this definitely doesn't apply to Trump. So it sounds like he will get off on this if it comes down to the Supreme Court, stepping in. They will definitely strike this one all the way down because they are just stretching this law a little bit too far, is what it sounds like to me. Sounds like Jack Smith and Letitia James got themselves a bit of a dead case coming after Trump. And I feel like that's a lot of these rogue attorney generals. We've been seeing them with these dead cases meant to just tie up Trump's resources and defame his name. They want Americans to believe that this guy is actually a criminal, but we're starting to see through these dead cases that Trump is not a criminal, guys. Definitely hop in the comments section and let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think the Supreme Court is going to step in and strike this case down? And do you think Trump should, countersue Jack Smith, Letitia James for all, the trouble they've put him through? Definitely hop in the comments section and let me know your thoughts, guys. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next one.